I guess we're just gonna start it.
Starting it now?
Yeah, I just hit the button.
Oh shit! Way to tell me, bro.
We have New year, new me.
Come on, man. We don't record an episode in a year. You don't even give me a chance. As soon as I turn my camera on, you just ready to go. Oh man.
Because hey, New Year, new me, and you're still in that same damn Burger King parking lot.
Look, man. New year, new episode of Big Boy Sports. That I don't get told the recording just started.
I
But
hit.
I'm your host, John Rocco. This is my co-host, Darren Silver, and his big ass nose already being obnoxious as soon as we get on the air here. But we got a lot to talk about. We got the Royal Rumble coming up. We got the NFL playoffs coming up. And we got a very, very special guest, a graduate of Full Sail University and a fellow radio show host himself, especially of the show So Disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ricardo Grant. We are ready. Let's go. How you feeling? Donald Suave in the house.
Everything good. Everything good. I love it. How y'all guys doing?
I'm good, man. You got the background ready. You got the Zoom name ready. He's ready to go for this.
Yes, sir. You know, we got the Caribbean behind us.
That's right. That's what he wants to make everybody think. I love it. It's beautiful. Now, how you doing, man?
Oh man, everything good, man. I just, just come off of work. Did ODU but women's basketball yesterday. Gotta do it again in 2 more days. And I mean, just staying busy, man. That's all we can do.
Yeah, man. That's all you can do. Just keep putting shit on there. I love that, man. But I mean, how did you get into sports though? How did you get into sports? How did you get into wanting to be involved with it? Was it something that you loved from a young age? Like, how did it start with you?
I think it was always destiny, man. I remember I was 7 years old. This is 1995. The Dallas Cowboys just won the Super Bowl, and they had a charity event at Hampton Coliseum. And I remember back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a toy that had the little jukebox that had a face up there, and they had a little mic to it. And for some odd reason, one of the offensive linemen was talking to my mom, and I don't know what I said. I just know that he was talking to, and I had a mic. I don't know if I said jibber jabber, whatever. But I remember I had the mic in my hand, and I put it to him, and he looked at me. He started laughing. He was like, "Oh, he a funny little dude." And then next thing you know, about 20 years later, I got a tweet from Full Sail University saying, "Hey, you want to be a sports broadcaster?" I thought it was a lie. I never heard of this school. I was like, okay, it might be a scam. So if I sign in, I'm gonna sign right back out. Next thing I know, I did it. Guy called me, said, talk to me. I talked. He said, I'm gonna give you a scholarship, a momentum scholarship. And then after that, I went to school, and the rest is history. 2 years in the books and graduated.
That's good, man. So pretty much it was just something that kind of just almost, I don't want to say popped in your lap a little bit because you did 2 years of school for this, but it's just something that kind of just, the opportunity popped up and you just decided to go for it.
Absolutely. Like, I always say it like this: there's four things in life I could work, have the greatest peace of mind, which is sports, movies, video game, music. So when sports came along, it was all because Brian Mitchell, if anybody knows, I'm a Washington Commander fan. Brian Mitchell on his show said, if you want to talk to us, go on Twitter. I never used Twitter. So I was like, okay, what do we do? I tweeted. That's all I knew. I tweet something, and then right under that's what popped up. And I'm looking like I could talk sports all day for free and have the greatest peace of mind. So I said, well, let's do this. Let's do two worlds right now. Get paid for it and talk about it. Best of both worlds.
I love it. Yo, this is Big Boy Sports, and he said that like it was the four food groups. You hear that?
Oh, I heard that. But you know what, John? This is refreshing that we finally got a football fan on here that's got a worse team than both of ours. Because we got playoff teams for once. This is
No.
you remember you remember, John? You remember the first ever hold on, John. No, listen. You remember the first ever Big Boy Sports episode we ever did? We talked about that Halloween game The Lions versus the Eagles. Remember that? That was the first ever episode. We talked about that game.
I'm still waiting for you guys to beat us. All right. So don't start with me.
We ain't even gonna get to play you in the playoffs, dude. You guys are looking sad right now. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about them Eagles. That's the Philadelphia chicken wings right now, dude, because they get ate up.
We got a bunch of different games we can talk about. We don't have to go into that one right now.
Okay. I'm feeling a little nauseous. Need some Pepto. All right.
At least y'all can talk. I can't talk. I gotta wait till March.
Hey, but I'm hearing you guys might get that number 1 draft pick though. They might trade. You might get Caleb Williams. So, you know,
yeah, it all depends to me how the Bears do. Like the fans want to keep Justin Fields. Sure. I don't know what management want to do, but I know if they do keep Justin Fields, it's only smart to go get Marvin Harrison Jr. because you can pair him up with DJ Moore. But it all depends on what they want to do.
I mean, I'm not an expert, you know. But I'm just saying, I think if you get an O-line around Sam Howell, I think Sam Howell could be something because he started the season off hot. I mean, he just don't have a team. I mean, and the thing is with him, he needs better coaching. Ron Rivera's out, but he wanted to spread the ball around. Like I was looking at the stats and everything, and he wanted to give everybody opportunities, and that's fine. Like I get it, you know. But this isn't youth basketball where it's like, okay, we want to get people a chance. Like it's the NFL. Terry McLaurin needed some more opportunities. Not because I had him in my fantasy football league for a good half the season, but he needed opportunities. He's an all-star, so he's sitting there on the bench, and he's like, when am I getting my shot? You know what I mean? They're not going deep with him. It's just, I don't know, man. Let me not.
Most of the stuff with Washington is playmaking, and I kind of contribute to Eric Bieniemy. If you know your offensive line can't block, then you shouldn't be doing these plays that's got to take so long to develop, especially for a rookie quarterback. I mean, so that's what the biggest issue was with Sam Howell. He was trying to wait until it develops, then he'll throw it. That's why, I mean, I know a lot of people want to talk about Jacoby Brissett, but he's a veteran. If you look at it, a lot of times his passes were getting the receiver open because he didn't have to wait. And then, yeah, like I said, spread it out. But if your number 1 receiver is Terry McLaurin, you do whatever it takes to get him the ball. And they start doing it. Technically, when we out the playoffs, the reverses, the screens, the slants, what you supposed to be doing in the first place, not wait to 15 yards down the field for them to do a slant or a post or whatever and then throw it, knowing you got Andrew Wiley who can't block a little kid, and then he gets sacked all the time. So I could go back to the play calling of Washington.
Here's what
I will say this. Hold on, let me get a word in here. I'll say this. There were some games, though. I know y'all ended 4-13, but there were some games where that offense was able to put up points and it was able to be explosive. There were some games that Washington was able to score. There's some games where they put up 30. There's games where Sam Howell had, threw his fair share of touchdowns. So there were games where even in some losses where points were getting put up. So I don't think it makes sense for Washington just to completely clean house. It was time for Ron Rivera to go. Ron Rivera ran his course in Washington. I'm not sure Sam Howell's the answer either, but you throw Eric Bieniemy in there in the offensive coordinator position. You have games where they could score points in an offense with a staff that has looked anemic in past years, to be honest with you. So with that being said, again, certain people, I don't know if they're the answer. Ron Rivera's not. Sam Howell, I don't think is personally, but I don't think it makes sense to completely clean house.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Get ready, guys. Get ready. It's the first controversial take of the year. The first one. There's been plenty of them, but I'm starting to think these NFL teams are like an ungrateful girlfriend. All right, they're like an ungrateful girlfriend or ungrateful boyfriend.
Bill Belichick got let go today.
You said what?
That's why Bill Belichick got let go today.
That's a whole different melting pot we could definitely get into. But my thing is like ungrateful girlfriend because you got all these our boyfriend, but like it's like they got all these different quarterbacks. Atlanta's got Desmond Ritter. And they've got Taylor Heineke. Like, I think Taylor Heineke never got a fair share in the NFL. I mean, he's got bounced around and everything. He didn't have like a team. And the thing is I'm thinking you're going to draft all these players to come in and be the starting quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying that there's quarterbacks in the NFL draft class that couldn't be a starting quarterback. I think Caleb Williams, I think he could come in the league, and I think he could be a starting quarterback. I will say that. But I'm thinking like a lot of these guys shouldn't come in the league and be starting quarterbacks. A lot of these guys should get drafted, be like a Kirk Cousins kind of situation, sit behind people, kind of learn a little bit because that's why you're drafting these people so they can learn. What are you going to do if you're Atlanta and you're drafting another quarterback? Then you're going to have what? Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke, and the new guy. I mean, obviously one of those two are going to go, but you're either going to keep Taylor or Desmond, and they're going to sit with the new guy, and then you got two guys sitting with the new guy, and then maybe you might bring in a Brian Hoyer or somebody. But what kind of experience is Brian Hoyer going to really bring to the team? You know what I mean? You got some older guy it'd be like comedy. So I don't know if you do comedy or not. Rico, I don't know if you do comedy or not, but I know me and John do. But it'd be like if we got some 40-year-old guy that's been doing comedy for 15 years and then comes and tries to mentor me and John, and the only thing he's ever done is hosting a bar gig. Like that's not gonna do us any good. It's just gonna be another guy, another body in the room. I'm just saying, I think these guys, these NFL teams, if you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. I get it. A quarterback's not gonna okay. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie a little bit, but a quarterback's not gonna make or break a team. It will make or break a team, but you're not gonna just draft. You're not gonna draft a quarterback. I don't care who it is. You're not drafting a quarterback, and he's gonna take you to the Super Bowl. I mean, maybe off the get go, but or maybe down the road, not off the get go. Maybe down the road. I mean, yeah, there's 32 teams in the NFL, and yeah, every year somebody gets drafted on a Super Bowl team. So there are rookies every year a rookie more than likely wins a Super Bowl unless they get waived or whatever the case might be. So yeah, there is every year a rookie's winning a Super Bowl, but is it going to be your quarterback? C.J. Stroud's playing hot right now, but is he going to really take that Texans squad to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Are they even going to get past the Browns? I don't know. I mean, they could definitely beat the Browns. I think didn't they play the Browns earlier in the season and they beat the Browns? Like, are the Browns beat them? I can't remember, but.
CJ Stroud, that situation is a very unique one. That's why, to me, when they do Coach of the Year, DeMeco Ryans better be top 2.
Oh, for sure.
Texas took a worst team last season. That was bad. Now they're in the playoffs. No one had the Texans in the playoffs. No one. And mind you, I talked to ESPN. I talked to a lot of analysts when we do our shows. No one even had Texans winning more than 5 games, if that. Now you see them right now in the playoffs. And they actually look like a team that could possibly do beat the Browns. I mean, they do look like a team that can do win. So, but going back to what you said, there has been times where you had a rookie quarterback that will come in and he actually did something. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. Remember his rookie season, he came in behind Tommy Maddox and won 15-1. And a lot of people was looking like they might go to the Super Bowl. And then they of course they lost that year. And then the following year they went to the Super Bowl. And the Kirk Cousins thing, he sat behind RG3. And that was a whole mess up issue anyway, because Snyder wanted RG3, Shanahan wanted Kirk Cousins, and they basically clashed. And you see exactly what happened with that situation too. I mean, RG3 is now, doing commentary, and Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. So we see exactly that Shanahan was kind of right in the situation.
But and it's definitely a weird situation. But like with him, is he got to sit back and just watch. You know what I mean? I'm not saying no disrespect to RG3. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning or somebody that you're learning expertise, but you're sitting back, you're watching how this guy plays, and then you're seeing, oh shit, RG3 is doing this play, it didn't work out. Okay, maybe I need to tweak this play a little bit, kind of like with me and John in comedy. Okay, we sit back and that the stage presence wasn't working, or this didn't work, So I think it's like you still got to sit back and you got to kind of like examine stuff. I mean, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but I'm still going to say Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the NFC North. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, a hot take, whatever you want to say, but I mean, he's consistent. He puts the points up. They just don't have a defense. The Vikings don't have a defense.
I used to call him Jared Goof, but I don't know if I'd call him that here.
No, he's still a goofball. I mean,
I don't know, man. They were talking about him being an MVP candidate in the beginning of the season.
No, definitely shouldn't be MVP. I mean, he's not. He's good. Golf's good. I mean, I've seen this potential in him. Like I definitely seen this potential back. When we was talking 2 years ago when we first started Big Boy Sports, or maybe it's 3 years ago. I can't remember. It's been some time, but And I was defending him, and I still will say, hey, he's a good quarterback, but he's not. I don't know if Kirk Cousins just has a different mentality. I mean, the injury, it's definitely unfortunate, And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this as a Lions fan, and that was a blessing in disguise. Because honestly, I don't know if Kirk Cousins wasn't gonna get hurt and didn't get hurt. I low key not saying I don't know if we would have won the NFC North. It would have been a battle between those two teams.
First off, I want to get back to the Browns and the Texans, but let me just say this before that. I will take Jared Goff over Kirk Cousins any day. I will take the guy that's the Super Bowl over the guy that can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right?
I mean, we'll
just say that.
Hey, he can't win the big one.
Exactly. Well, he got to the big one at least.
I'm talking about Kirk Cousins. I'm talking about, Washington couldn't win primetime games.
Kirk Cousins can't even get there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you got a point. Because Goff's undefeated, I think, was undefeated on those primetime games until we got screwed by the Cowboys.
Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing big about Kirk Cousins except those chains he's wearing in the locker room. All right?
You like this?
Yeah, right now.
Hey, I love that.
You see those chains, man. No, but let me say this. Can the Texans beat the Browns? They could, but I don't like the chances. And here's why. This is why I don't like the chances. You have guys, especially on that defense, and in Joe Flacco, that are experienced. And Joe Flacco, he's tearing it up right now. He's showing the world that he's still got it. He can still fling that football around.
Oh, for sure.
With the combination of a quarterback who's been there, not only been to the big dance, but won it, and a good defense behind him, and he's playing well, I don't see any reason why the Browns shouldn't beat the Texans. This is a game I believe at least the Browns should win. Can the Texans do it? Do they have a puncher's chance? I believe yes. They have a puncher's chance. But this is a game that I just feel the Browns should win. I feel like they have the personnel. Kevin Stefanski this year is a Coach of the Year candidate. They've had 3 or 4 quarterbacks then and have still been able to put a hell of a season together. And the way Joe Flacco's been playing, I have no reason to believe the Texans won't win this game. Because think about it too. Who are DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud playing with?
You got Nico Collins, bro. Collins going on the fantasy standpoint, put up 30 points.
We were talking about a squad that Rico said himself, we thought was getting 5 wins at the most. And the worst part is that's an improvement. That's an improvement. That would have been an improvement by itself. That's the worst part about it. And lo and behold, they make the playoffs with a rookie quarterback and head coach. But, the thing is, when you think about a 5-win squad, you're not really thinking about the talent on that team. You're looking at the talent around them. You're like, who are these guys? You've got Myles Garrett on the other team. You've got Nick Chubb on the other team. You've got a Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco in the other team.
He got Amari Cooper that's coming back too.
That's right. Yeah. You got guys on that team against, 2 guys who are going to take the Texans' places. And I believe the Texans are going to be a big team on the rise. There's going to be people that are going to be attracted by what they see in Houston. And there's going to be people that want to come there. But I just don't see them getting past the Browns this year. And I think that's fine for the Texans right now. I think the Texans are playing with house money. But again, I don't believe that there's any reason the Browns should lose this game.
I mean, I'm gonna go against you, man. It's big boy sports, but I'm going Texans, man. And I've had CJ on my fantasy squad. I picked him up. People dropped him when he had that concussion. I picked him right up and put me some points up. So we got Singletary. Singletary's rushing the ball really well. Started the season off not super great, but run the ball super well. And then you got Nico Collins is out there playing, man. Like you got
Great
You got
journalism, Darren.
and
Business journalism, Darren. Basing your picks off of fantasy over here.
I'm
Look
just
at
saying,
you.
and then you got Dalton Schultz at tight end, dude. Like I'm just saying, that's a
Then he just
scary.
ignores everything I said. You see that?
No, I'm just telling you that offense came together at the right time. That's what I'm trying to say.
I say with both of these teams, honestly, it's just a hard thing. Honestly, my heart, you want both of these teams to win because they both underdogs. No one thought, like I said, the Texas was going to be there.
Nobody watching a football team wanting everybody to win.
No, yeah, but honestly, there's some teams that you like Cowboys is what probably the most hated team right now. You get, and it's because of the fans, just like the Eagles. It's because of the fans, and let's be real. Obnoxious is pitiful with it, but when it comes to the Browns, no one really thought Browns was going to do anything. Now they had an X factor with Deshaun Watson, but no one really thought the Browns was going to do anything, and no one thought the Texans was going to do anything. So you got these two teams that actually came out of the mud and is in the playoffs, and it's like that underdog, like that ugly duckly thing is getting a victory, and you love that. But like you said, it's NFL, and look, any given Sunday, anybody can win on a Sunday. But yeah, like John said, I don't see the Texans winning, and like they overachieved. Whatever happens now is extra credit. They got an A on that test right now. If they win, it's A+. But right now, the Browns, this Browns team remind me of the Flacco team that he had with Baltimore when the defense was there with Ray Lewis and all that was there. And then on offense, he really didn't have that many weapons, but he still game managed. He had Anquan Bolden, Jacoby Jones. He still managed it. And they beat the Niners that year, even though it was a controversy at the end. But I really see that's Flacco doing. He's controlling everything. There's a veteran presence. Amari Cooper basically getting over 200 yards, and he's coming back. That receiver, that number one receiver that he loved, he got that. And then Myles Garrett, to me, is one of the best defensive players in the NFL, bar none. That could be your Ray Lewis right there. So that's why I say the Browns, to me, is going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, no question about it. But I think they might win about between 3 to 7 points that the Browns are going to win.
I can see it being 27-20.
I mean, it's definitely one of those March Madness kind of, big games. It's like we got the two upset picks going up against each other. And it's cute. And one of the Cinderella stories, one of the Cinderella slippers are going to get kicked off and going to get lost, and somebody's going to have one for an extra week. And whoever wins between that game, they're going to. I mean, I know it's any given Sunday, but they're going to get beat the next round. I mean, it's not. I'm not seeing Texans or Browns going to the AFC Championship. Like, let me just be honest with you. It's just I don't see it. I mean, but it's good. It's good for football. All these matchups are good for football. I mean, the storyline. Let me pull up the phone here. Let me look at. You got, for me, being a Lions fan, you got Stafford coming into Ford Field like that. That's huge. That's huge. And then you got I think probably the craziest wild card game, is you got the Chiefs going up against the Dolphins. That was my, at some point during the season, that was my AFC Championship. I was like, okay, that's my AFC Championship right there. So you got the Tyreek Hill coming into Arrowhead. It's just crazy, And then you don't even have Burrow. Burrow got hurt, so you don't have the Bengals in the playoffs. Everybody's picking the Bengals to be there. They're not there, so like it's.
Yeah.
Then you got Mike McCarthy and the Packers and the Cowboys going against each other. Like it's. Then you got the Eagles, Buccaneers once again, first round wild card matchup from last year. Like,
let me just say this. Let me just say this. Who are you guys taking in that Chiefs and Dolphins game? Because they faced each other.
Dolphins.
The Chiefs got the win. Dolphins. The Chiefs did get the win earlier in the season. I will say that.
If y'all saw me on looking down, I was looking at the NFL script. I was making sure they wrote the script right, just because you was talking about the script. So yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, the script is correct. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So yeah, this storyline is perfect. Honestly, I mean, you just think about it all across the board. Green Bay, Dallas. Mike McCarthy is going against his old team he won a Super Bowl with. Lions, and then you got the Lions and the Rams. Stafford, Goff going against each other. You got Chiefs, Dolphins. Exactly. Tyreek going against the Chiefs. I mean, did the script writers write anything better? I mean, this is a great article. I mean, this is an Oscar-worthy script they done written for the NFL. and we're still gonna watch it too.
Baker Mayfield going up against the Eagles after getting his ass whooped earlier in the season.
I'm just saying, whoever wrote the script should have been writing for that Golden Gloves, man.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Get
I
out of
love
now.
him.
I mean, but all I'm saying though is the Chiefs haven't looked any better throughout the season, and they still got the win over the Dolphins. It's not like this. The problems with the receiver corps just started now. They've been having problems all season long, and the Dolphins have been one of the teams that they've been able to beat. So, I look at that, and I look at the fact that Patrick Mahomes is still on the other side of that football, and I have a hard time picking against the Chiefs, man. I really do. I got one team that I pick every week because I'm biased. Just like Darren with fantasy football.
You might as well get the blue cheese out, man. Might as well get the blue cheese out for him.
I don't know. Rico's got a lot of green in his background. Let me just say that right now.
Oh, that's because Green's nature, not because of the Eagles. let's be clean about that. We like clean air back here. Now y'all got ready for shake and bake. That's what y'all got to wait for. Shake and bake. Baker Mayfield.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of
You
curious.
better start shaking and baking in that run game. Let me tell you right now.
I'm just wondering how the hell did that get the Monday night spot though, dude? Like that should be the 4:30 Sunday slot, man. I would say the Packers Cowboys should be the Monday night game, but
listen, the Eagles got a lot of primetime games this year, man.
I'm just saying it don't make no sense, but
it was a lot of primetime games. I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 weeks where we were on at 1 p.m. and that was it.
So now we might as well talk about it. We're here. What's going on with you Eagles, man? Because I mean, the Buccaneers, I'm thinking probably get the upset, but I don't even think it'd even be an upset at this point.
I think the problem has been obviously injuries. I think there's more than with health that's been going on that they really haven't been letting out of the house. Especially with Nick Sirianni's recent comments about how tough Jalen Hurts is. I think it has a lot more to do with than the broken finger. And I think other than that, you look at this team right now, and I think the problem is they're having a hard time really finding an identity. Sometimes, when they ground and pound, they pass the ball. Sometimes when they should be passing the ball, it's a ground and pound game. And the Eagles had different ways to beat you, and they wrote up good plays, good schemes to be able to execute and be able to beat you. Because this is the same team that was around last year. A lot of the same players that are on this squad that have been around last year. And I know we lost some free agency, but I think the real problem this year has been coaching. And I'm not talking about Nick Sirianni. I'm talking about the coordinators that have taken over. You look at some of the plays that they've drawn up, you watch the game, and it just doesn't make any sense. You're not putting guys in the proper positions to be able to make tackles, get stops, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which is where they've really been struggling the most. And, I think the problem this year, it's just been coaching. It's just been the way things have been drawn up. And I think the Eagles have been trying to do the best that they can with it. But clearly, once the coordinators were lost, we did not hire the right people going into the game. And I know that we do have a squad that can overcome this, because you don't go 10-1 in a season by accident. I'll say that. You don't beat the Dolphins. You don't beat the Chiefs. You don't beat the Bills, all in a span of a few games if this team can't overcome some of the things that have happened to it. So I do think this is still a winnable game for the Eagles. And I think if they're obviously going to win the playoff, They need to be able to get this win, get back to winning ways, and then really just take it from there. Remember the playoffs at 0-0. It's one game at a time. Any given Sunday, you do that a few times, and you've got a Lombardi. So I think it's a winnable game, and I think this is where you start trying to build that momentum back up.
So how do you feel about that? You guys just got embarrassed though by a Tyrod Taylor-led Giants team, though. I mean, no disrespect to Tyrod, and the reason I only said that is because I'm kind of curious for next year. Giants, what are they going to do in the draft? Because I've been seeing, they're going to draft a quarterback. Like, that's a thing. You don't need to be drafting quarterbacks. You give Danny Dimes all that money. I think there's a lot more than that. I think they shouldn't have given him that money. They should have gave Saquon the money. But I mean, I digress on that. But how do you feel about that? And what do we think about the quarterback carousel going on in New York?
I mean, there's been a carousel of a lot of different things going on in New York. It hasn't just been quarterbacks. It's been coaches. It's been general managers. We talk about my team not finding the right coordinator. The Giants can't find anybody. They can't find anybody in any position. The only good player they have, you're right, they should have given Saquon Barkley money because he is all they have. Yeah. On both offense, defense, coaches, general managers, owners. Nothing is good about the Giants except Saquon Barkley. Nothing.
And the thing is, I mean, I get it's the NFL, man. I get it's the NFL, but you got Tyrod Taylor. I don't want to say he's a consistent quarterback, but can play. The dude can ball. If he's given a team. I mean, Tommy DeVito, Tyrod Taylor, was any of them going to be a savior in New York and take that team to the playoffs? No. And I mean, I think New York is more of a dumpster fire than obviously is more of a dumpster fire than the Texans situation. Even if Daniel Jones was playing, so the Texans thing, that's pretty, and that is what it is. That it's like you said, it's remarkable, but they got pieces. But like you said, the only thing they got is Saquon. But the thing is, you got good quarterbacks. Tyrod can play. Tyrod can ball. And, I think Tommy DeVito, put him in the right system. I mean, I think Tommy DeVito could be better than Kenny Pickett. And I'm not even being crazy. I mean, Pickett's not that good. But I'm just saying, everybody wanted to make it like, oh, Kenny Pickett's the man. He's the man in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh.
No.
Right now.
I get the one I'm saying is it took them a whole damn long time for them to put Mason Rudolph in the game. They didn't want Rudolph to play any football games. They said, nope, you don't get to play. No football games for Rudolph.
Let me tell you something. They want Mason Rudolph playing over Kenny Pickett right now.
I mean, now because he went out there and led. It's like if you got an opportunity and you're going to go out there and ball, they want the guy balling, not the guy that's out there balling his eyes out in the locker room.
And Tyrod, like you said, Tyrod is a winner. I mean, and I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. He is from my area, Seven Cities in Virginia. He's from Hampton. But Tyrod, everywhere he went, has been a winner. I mean, remember, he was with the Bills, and he got into a playoffs, and they won a playoff game with him. He's with the Chargers. Unless, we want to set a conspiracy theory with the doctor, punching his lung, and he was out the whole entire year. He was actually doing something with the Chargers, and now he comes to the Giants. And then you look at what the Giants, and that offense, you like, well, he's moving. He's doing stuff. He's doing stuff better than Danny Dimes, but he's just that injury prone. But everywhere Tyrod goes, he wins. The only issue I see with Tyrod is, one, he's injury prone. And then another thing is he's very, very careful. Tyrod is never that type of person that's going there, slaying that rock left and right, and just make these crazy in-between cut type of pass we could be intercepted or not. He's very careful. He if it ain't there, he'll run or he'll throw a check down. So a lot of times he's what we consider boring, but he wins. And what you would think, like Herman Edwards said, you play to win the game, but Tyrod wins games. So when he came to the Giants, I remember I said, oh man, if he get in that game, him and Saquon together, they can win some games. And it's showing that they actually look like a pretty turnaround team right now. But we put Danny Dimes in there, I mean, he's trash. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how we go against us. The Panthers go against Washington. He turns into Michael Vick. But that's another story, and I digress from that.
I'll take Kenny Pickett over Danny Dimes.
Yo, me too.
I would say this. I think Tyrod should be in the league before Derek Carr. That's all I'm saying. Derek Carr had it. You have a team in New Orleans. You've got a team. And the thing is that's a disappointment. You know, you've got weapons. You got Chris Olave, and you've got
Let me tell you something. If I run a play in fantasy, I will run Jameis Winston victory formation before I run anything with Danny Dimes. Okay, like that's what we really need to be real with. Jameis Winston victory formation before I let Danny Dimes trip after running 80 yards.
Hey, Jameis Winston is the national treasure. That man is gold. No matter what he does, he gold.
Just cost Dennis Allen his whole job.
But like you said, it's for the team. The team came together.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
That team is staying together because the inmates ran the asylum. But I do want to say thank you so much for helping us get some of these picks out. We really, really appreciate you being on the show with us. And I appreciate you coming on, showing off that Caribbean background, even though that's probably just your living room.
That's where your Philadelphia Eagles are going to be after this weekend, bud.
Sandy Beach is about to get replaced with carpet rash right here on Big Boy Sports. I am your host, John Brecco. This is Darren Silver. We are here with the Don Suave, Rico Grant here on Big Boy Sports Radio. We appreciate you being on, man. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you back.
I definitely appreciate you, and I'm glad to be back as well.
All right, man.